Orgasmic Conscious Cooking with yours truly. Tonight I came back and I wanted to have some fun. But before I do that, we've had a rough week. I had a conversation with my wife about what happened on the Capitol. And, you know, my biggest concern is that people feel like they're not being heard. I know there are different means of taking care of your conflicts and concerns, but it's still echoing what the people are feeling. Some of the moves seem like moronic, if that's a word. I hope I didn't make up a word. But anyway, I ate shrimp for dinner. Hey, Kathy, yes, it's coming pretty soon. But one of the things I want to talk about is I have this T-shirt on that talks about having, when I created this segment, I like cooking and I love consciousness. And I want to take every opportunity to invite people to another space. This is a fun space. It's light. I'm sure you how to make different recipes. But I also want to hit on consciousness. First of all, I want to thank my sister who made this shirt, Wilma Rideau. She made a shirt and she was cautious about passing them out because she was worried about what people were going to think. I'm not too worried about what people think. I want people to get outside of thinking and step into their knowing. And before we get started, I want to talk a little bit about that. What would it look like if we had a world where people were able to really share how they feel? I mean, just think about it for a second. What would it be like if people could actually share and people didn't go in quite so quick of a judgment, but allowed them to share what they were feeling? Because there's truth everywhere. You have to be willing to look at it and ask a question. What's right about this that I don't get? And I'm constantly asking that. The last week has been tiresome, depressing, saddening, but also there's a possibility, and it's sitting right on this side of this. And so I wanted to start out tonight because I'm gonna get to this recipe because this is one of the means that allow me to escape from some of the madness once in a while. Yes, Kathy, how lovely. I would love to invite people to a space where they can create more of their being. More of my being is offered in some of my meals that I create. What could other people do to invite other people in their space to really have serious dialogue? Sometimes when you think about things, people really don't share anymore. We don't talk about religion. We won't talk about politics. We won't talk about the things that are kind of important to us because we have this wall. What if we could drop those walls? I might not agree with everybody, but I'm sure in the hell not going to go ahead and judge them. So there's awareness. So I'm not trying to give anybody a green light for being an idiot. But my question is about what would people create if they could really share what's on their heart? Enough of that. Let's get to cooking. So welcome to Orgasmic Conscious Cooking with yours truly again. I want to share information that I found about shrimp. Tonight is shrimp salad. Years ago when I moved to Portland, I actually used to work at Hamburger Mary's. And a lot of people don't know that I was the prep guy. I made salad dressings, I made salads, I made sauces. I was the person that came in early in the morning, chopped up onions, garlic, celery, put together all their salads. And this was one of my favorite salads that they prepared. And I just kept it in my gray space. And I'm going to share it with you tonight. But before we get started with that, I want to show you the difference between, are you aware that there's a difference between prawns and shrimp? Anybody out there? Any ideas? What do you think? Are they just the same? These here are shrimp. What's the difference? Anybody? Well, I bet you don't know. So here you go. I've looked this up on Google. Google does help. So what I found out are prawns have 3 pairs of claw-like legs. Their backs are a lot longer, And they're part of this reproduction system, which is called Dendrobranchiata suborder. That's a mouthful to eat. Big and little, yes. And shrimp have one pair of claw legs, part of the Pleosimeta subgroup. And it goes yummy in my belly. But I thought I wanted to share that with you because when you start to cook, it's always exciting to look up the history. So first I looked up shrimp, and then guess when shrimp salad showed up on the world menu? 20th century. The same time, you know that red sauce that they put shrimp in? What's that called? Shrimp cocktail. That came out the same time. Hey, Andrea, what's up, man? Thank you, Belle. So yeah, I found out that it's been around since the 20th century. And I was like, wow, people knew how to eat back then, even today. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. This is gonna be real simple and quick, okay? This is a salad, and my wife's like, well, is there any lettuce in it? There's some that you can add lettuce, but today we're gonna sit on a bed of lettuce, and we're gonna add a lot of yummy ingredients, okay? So the first thing we do, we take out a teaspoon of mustard. We take a half cup of mayo. You gotta get all the yumminess on there. Now there's a lot different mayonnaise. Now you can make homemade mayonnaise also, if you choose to do that. A little bit more work, but it would work. Okay. You're gonna take 1 stalk of celery. Get that all out of there. Take 2 green onions. I cut the ends off and I chop them up. Get that there. Now, the original salad that I was creating didn't have celery, but to give a consistency, some crunchiness in it, I'd add celery. Also, you have to be aware that horseradish is really good in a shrimp cocktail. It's awesome. But you have to be aware of how many onions you're going to put in there, because some people in your family might not like onions. I'm looking at my wife. She's like, oh, onions, it's going to destroy what I'm going to eat tonight. She'll try it. Trust me. So what I also do is that you can put a teaspoon of Old Bay spice, but I prefer Fisherman's Seafood Spectacular. Sorry about that. Now, it's not salty, because I don't want a lot of salt in it, because remember, celery has a high has a high percentage of sodium. Okay. Put in a teaspoon of garlic, a heaping teaspoon of garlic. I love that, just a little bit more. Won't hurt you. Add a little body. Half teaspoon of black pepper. And I like lots of dill. And half the juice of a lemon. Myers lemons. So there are different lemons out there. I like the Myers. They're a little bit sweeter and the flavor more intense. So put that in there. Make sure you don't get it on the side or in your face. Stir this up. So you might ask, why do I cook? I got it from my mama, if I have to say that. But what really happens, what's that? Whoop, yeah, celery, this body like, yeah. That celery gives it that special cook, and it also increases the sodium percentage. There I go. I can't talk tonight. What the hell is that? I would ask Tori to come in and be my taster, but she doesn't like that many onions. So your finished product looks like this. Can you see that? The spoon fell off in there. That's not a good thing. My hands were washed before I started, so you don't have to worry about that. And one of the things that I really don't like doing is eating out of the bowl. Sometimes I watch people on TV and they eat out of the bowl, but yeah, that's nasty. I'm just kidding. But it actually can make you sick because the saliva on your tongue and your mouth starts to break down food. That's the process saliva. You put it in here, you put it back in the bowl, the shrimp starts to break down. No onions, Tory Burton. Yes, you know, she's not an onion lady. Put this all to the side. You guys see this? I'm moving this out the way. Voila. So, lick the spoon. Yes. I'll lick the spoon for you guys. So take a heaping. Voila. So we don't eat wheat crackers. So I have these almond crackers. Okay. So let you see what they look like. Voila. Doesn't that look scrumptious? I'm gonna tell you what it tastes like. It jumped in my belly. Oh my God. You know what's really funny? I love my own cooking. Let's see. My granddad ate onions like an apple. Yeah. I like sweet onions, but I cut down the onions because my dear wife turns away from it. Yeah, almond crackers, Kathy, they're great. We use them because we're trying to get away from gluten. We're not trying, we're actually doing the damn thing. And there's so many different alternatives of great crackers now, but I prefer, these look just like wheat thins. If you can see that, right? Oh my God, it's so good with the salad. I don't know what I'm gonna do. How's it get better than that? Anyway, real short tonight. Thank you for coming in my kitchen. What would you, here's a test for you, a challenge. What would it be like for the next 7 days that you reach out to someone you don't know that might think different than you and not judge them, but stay in the question of a possibility of what you have in common? Anything won't allow that, would you please destroy and uncreate it? I love you guys. Until next week, have a great, great week. Love you. Peace.